Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday was quite a day. As of this recording, it's November 13, 2020, and in November 12, 2020, Thursday, Philippines was struck with a pretty big typhoon. We call it Ulysses. In the rest of the world, it's called Vamco, which is a weird name. Let's talk a little bit about the storm and its aftermath and all related topics, shall we? So, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge my privilege, I guess. We here in Manila came off fairly unscathed. Well, there was some flooding, but only minor. In the meantime, other parts of Metro Manila and the surrounding provinces weren't so lucky. Like, really not lucky. And it makes me think of that scene in Parasite. Yeah, it kind of rings a bell. And personally, I'm thankful that, well, I live in a flat in Manila, and that's about it. It didn't do much. We didn't even have a power outage over here. Well, the next block had power outage. Here, well, there were some fluctuations at night during when the storm was coming in, but other than that, day after, it was fine. I just kept working. Other people weren't so lucky though. Like, I think right up until like late last night, maybe even now, who knows, they still don't have power. And I feel for you. I remember back in 2009 when Ondoy hit, we actually had a 67-day power outage. Because on August 31 of that year, we had an electrical fire in the building, and it pretty much destroyed all the electricals. They had to be rebuilt from scratch. I'll tell that story one of these days. I'll make another video about it. I learned quite a lot from that experience. So anyway, where's the storm now? It's heading for Vietnam. Hopefully they're ready. Well, like 30 hours ago, as of this recording, it was around here. It's around this region. The eye of the storm was passing by Metro Manila, and the places that got hit first were, well, shall we say, in a deep mess. And Typhoon Ulysses apparently was fairly unique in how it had this strange tail. I guess I don't know that much about meteorology, but that looks pretty cool. If it weren't so destructive, I would say it's beautiful. But yeah, well, it is destructive, so I don't know if I can call it that. Yeah, Vam Corporation was pretty bad, and some people are still picking up the pieces right now. And to an extent, it was actually even worse than Ondoy. Just look at that. It surpassed Ondoy water level in Marikina River. And Marikina was really hard hit. And Rizal and parts of Bulacan and like around this region. Somehow, here in Manila, we didn't have the same Ondoy levels of flood. Somehow. Like, Ondoy turned our streets into rivers, pretty much. But yesterday, I looked out with my binoculars out the window. It was like, oh, okay, the usual parts are flooded, but it's not so bad, actually. I've waded through flood out there. For us, it wasn't that bad. But in a lot of parts, it was really bad. Like, look at these photos of just... Man, I feel for those people. Jeez. Having to stay on the roof of your house. And those winds, by the way, those winds were really strong. Like, I could hear the howling from here. Usually when storms come, you would hear the howling at our kitchen. I could hear it from here, like from there. That means it was really bad. And man, the devastation. We're gonna look at all these photos and just get the scope of what happened yesterday. Just yesterday, in like a couple of hours, boom! It was those hard hit places were hit really hard. Yeah, people being rescued by boat. Ugh, it's 1 story high. The flood is just like beyond neck deep. And Marikina, of course, it would be susceptible to this kind of flooding because, well, they're near La Mesa Dam, they're near Marikina River, and you know, like, I don't live in Marikina, so I don't know for sure, but the flooding there can get pretty intense, just like this. Ugh. Like, I have a friend who lives in Marikina as well, although he's on higher ground, and their first floor got flooded as well. So it says a lot about, well, how bad the flooding was. Oh boy, look at that. Like, what other places were hard hit? Bicol as well? Yeah, Bicol, and well, if Bicol gets flooded, you know, with the current situation with Mount Mayon, there'd be Lahar. That's bad. And oh yeah, there's this dog. This got viral yesterday. The doggy just stranded in San Mateo, Rizal. Apparently, the dog's name is Rambo. If I can find... Yeah, there we go. They were able to rescue him. Yay! He was rescued. His name is Rambo, and that's his owner. Somehow they were able to get him out. That's good. At least there's good news amid all the bad news yesterday. But man, that's just... Oh, that's a raging river right there. That you'd think that's a river? Well, kinda. It's part of a river, but that's a road. There's SM Marikina. I've been there before. One of the very few times I've ever been in Marikina. But man, that's bad. That's a lot of leptospirosis there. Ugh. And this was during dawn. Oh, and those winds. Wow, they were pretty strong. This thing hit hard. Just a few hours, it turned people's lives upside down. And hopefully, this video doesn't like. Yeah, this is Manila Bay during the storm. We know what they were doing with Manila Bay, and yeah, that's money down the drain. Just saying. I don't know. They're gonna rehabilitate it some more. Oh, and Ross Boulevard was flooded. Oh, well. Anyway, while people were taking a dip. Sorry, I had to make that joke. It was the worst during dawn. Like, that was when power outages were happening. When people were getting stranded in their own homes, and no one knew what was going to happen next. That's why they had to be rescued, because who knows how long the floods will last. Is it still flooded over there? I don't know. I actually don't know. A lot of people unable to go to work, unable to do their online schooling. A lot of people uprooted, and from what I heard, they had to cut the power right away as soon as the flooding started because apparently back in 2009 when Ondoy happened, when, well, this similar level of flooding happened, people were getting like towed away by the raging waters. So they would try to hold on to whatever they could in order to, you know, not get taken away by the flood water. So they would hang on, and a lot of them actually grabbed onto wires, live wires, and a lot of people died. I don't know how many, I don't know the statistics, but apparently people died from that. So they had to cut the power right away because they learned their lesson from like 11 years ago. Well, that's a good thing. So that when that happens again, no one gets electrocuted to death. Here's a heartbreaking one. My 67-year-old father was waiting for rescue, and it's really frustrating. We can't do anything. 3 hours after my mother and I and my sister got rescued, they didn't return for him, so he was just stranded. Well, that's my translation of that. That's sad. Why didn't you go back for him? No, this one. Ooh, this footage. Oh yeah, I've been waiting to play this footage right here. Oh yeah. That's the same one, in the same shot. Also in front of SM Marikina, and man, yeah, that flyover is also flooded now. But look at that, holy crap. Holy crap, that is... Damn, son. Oh, it's folding over on itself. What is that? Is that a walkway or a footbridge? A structure? Some sort of structure. People can't do anything about it. They can only watch. God damn. That happened at around 10:44 a.m. yesterday. So Yeah, that was a roundup of the catastrophe. Now, for many of us who were relatively safe, I guess the most stress and panic that it caused, well, aside from worrying about your families if they lived in those areas, is those mobile disaster alerts you got on your phone, the ones that went in the middle of the night. And my phone in particular actually read it out in I don't know, is that Microsoft Sam? No, it was a female voice, but yeah, it read it out loud, and I was like half asleep. So like when they started sending message of a storm surge coming, I was half asleep, and that was kind of terrifying. I guess I was in sleep paralysis, maybe. I'm kind of lazy, so when I'm half asleep, I just don't want to get up. I don't have that discipline. I don't know if it's actually sleep paralysis. I don't think so, because I can move if I want to during those times. I'm just too lazy. But anyway, it's pretty terrifying. But a lot of people complained about those loud alerts waking them up from sleep. But here's the thing from the I can't get the abbreviation correct. Is it NDRRMC? Wait, hold on. NDRRMC. I gotta get more familiar with that. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, founded in May of 2010. So it's like 10 years old. They're doing their best. They're doing their best with what they have. I'm sure those guys take their job seriously. Well, hopefully they do. But yeah, those alerts were enacted by Republic Act number 10639. It was authored by Nery Colmenares. It's a good thing that there are alerts, because come on, like you're complaining about being woken up from sleep. It's an emergency. They would only send those alerts if there's an emergency, so that everyone gets notified that, hey, shit's about to come. And it's about to hit the fan real hard, But yeah, there was a lot of whining about the alerts, and that why are we being woken up from sleep and just wallowing in their own privilege. Like I understood. I wasn't mad at all that I was getting alerts. Those alerts have a purpose after all. And I'm gonna show you a video clip from something that seems completely unrelated. One of the many things that I follow, the sport of strongman. Yeah, how is it related? I was watching a vlog from 2019 World's Strongest Man, Martins Ulysses. The 2020 World's Strongest Man event is being held in Bradenton, Florida, and they're about to be hit by a hurricane, or maybe it already has been hit. Wait, it's not yet a hurricane, it's only a tropical storm. Yeah, so yeah, they're about to get a storm. You hear that? You heard that? Same alert in America. The developed world has that too. So wait a minute, maybe the NDRRMC is actually doing a good job in letting the Philippines keep up with the rest of the world by having emergency mobile alerts. It's actually a good thing that we get them, because the rest of the world, the rest of the developed world who have enacted it, do get them as well. It's a function in your own mobile phone that the government, or whatever authority there is, can use to notify people if there is a coming emergency, in a grand scale. But anyway, how's the aftermath? Well, for one thing, water services interruptions in Metro Manila and Rizal and Cavite. Is my area here? I'm gonna look. Manila War, Pasig, Marikina. Okay, we're not affected, but the people in the eastern parts are going to be affected. Well, hopefully you can get water. Hopefully, you can get a water source in the meantime. I do know that another one of my friends reported that the water coming out of their faucet right now is like Coke. It's Coke colored, most likely from the flood. So hopefully the water clears up in those areas. In the meantime, casualties. This is from yesterday. Yesterday evening, Ulysses leaves at least 13 dead and 20 injured. Yeah, and then day after, November 13. Oh, this is just, 14 hours after it was reported, 39 bodies recovered in the wake of Ulysses. Official death toll is 14. Been updated. I don't know how it is now as I upload this video on both YouTube and Facebook. There were 13 fatalities reported yesterday. Metro Manila, at least 2. Calabarzon, at least 12. Cagayan Valley, at least 7. Cordillera, at least 1. Central Luzon, at least 4. Bicol, at least 3. Caraga, at least 2. Well, you can say the death toll is not as bad as Ondoy, but still, that's a death toll. That's bad. The AFP, PNP, and BFP counted a total of 40 people who were injured from the typhoon and 22 people who were missing in different regions. Search and rescue teams from different government agencies rescued a total of 138,272 people. At least 137 were from Metro Manila, Quezon City, Marikina City, and Pasig City. Floods were reported in 105 cities and municipalities across regions 1 to 5. The council counted landslides and soil erosion incidents in 8 cities and municipalities in the Cagayan Valley and Calabarzon. There were 2 maritime incidents recorded in Quezon Province. The DILG counted 17 landslides, while 206 roads had been rendered impassable. Ondoy stuck around for a lot longer, thus causing massive damage. Meanwhile, this one, it hit here, and in a fraction of the time that Ondoy stuck around, 11 years later, it did this much damage. And what do we have to say about how it's handled, how people are managing through such disasters, just how we are supposed to feel about this? Well, I don't want to get too much into politics and how the powers that be responded to the whole thing. Like, there's this whole thing about this whole talk about resilience and how the Filipino people are resilient, and despite being hit by storms and volcanic eruptions and earthquakes and such, they have a smile on their face. No, they don't. They suffer just like everyone else. It'd be better if we don't have to suffer as much. I'm in a privileged position. I live a fairly comfortable life. Not everyone has that, and I acknowledge that fact. And it would have been better if our tax money goes to actually helping those people, huh? That's as political as I'll get in this video. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. That's just me reporting about a natural disaster. Yeah, that's the very first one I've done. Anyway, that's all for now. It actually got a little uncomfortable. I don't know how to reconcile with the feelings I'm getting right now after doing this. Hopefully you don't take it the wrong way. Hopefully. Anyway, that's all for now. Till next time, stay safe, stay Tor.